The smoke doesn't ask for permission to change the frequency of a crowded room. Watching how the logic of the incense begins to dismantle every version of the gloom. We trade the oxygen for a structural kind of knowledge that's burning on a coal of fire. Rising above the horizontal metrics and the noise of every desperate desire. The geometry of the scent is a map to a sanctuary that was never made of stone, reclaiming the alignment of a kingdom that the actual person has always known. You can't breathe the future if you're still holding the exhales of a heavy past, building up a vibration that was designed to actually and evolutionary last. It's the sandalwood smoke in the psychic kind of alignment, searching for the frequency of a spiritual refinement. The ritual is internal, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the source of a high-dimensional name. The resin is a messenger for a logic that doesn't need a vertical kind of praise, walking through the smoke in a million different and the structural kind of ways. We sit in the silence and we listen to the geometry of a brand new thought, finding all the clarity that a horizontal currency has never actually bought. The alignment is a posture that you take when the spirit is finally and completely free, observing the evolution of the version that was always meant to eventually be. The smoke carries the weight of a vision that's starting to take a steady in the golden glow, watching how the ancient and the urban spirits finally start to grow. It's the sandalwood smoke in the psychic kind of alignment, psyche, searching for the frequency of a spiritual refinement. The ritual is internal, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the source of a high-dimensional name. Smoke is a bridge, the silence is a school, teaching the logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the sandalwood smoke to the alignment of the soul, understanding how the frequency makes the spirit whole. It's the sandalwood smoke in the psychic kind of alignment, psychic kind of alignment, sea of a spiritual refinement. The ritual is internal, the aura is a steady flame, honoring the source of a high-dimensional name. The smoke was the vehicle, but the alignment was the truth. The moon doesn't explain its phases to the tide, it just moves the ocean with a structural kind of pride. Every cycle is a silent lesson in the way we navigate this indigo and high-dimensional space. Logic is a circle, not a line drawn in the sand by a horizontal version of grace. We sit inside the blue light and we listen to the rhythm of the celestial night, trusting in the gravity that pulls the actual truth into the center of the light. The water knows the secret of the movement in the steady evolutionary flow. Watching how the seeds of the internal sanctuary finally start to grow. Indigo is more than just a color, it's a frequency that the spirit understands is home. It's the indigo room in the lunar kind of logic, finding all the rhythm in the sacred and the chaotic. The ritual is intuition, the aura is a steady blue, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits renew. Intuition is a compass that doesn't need a magnetic or a vertical kind of key, mapping out the territory of the spirit while the horizontal world is trying to see. The logic of the moon is a structural blueprint for the things that remain in the dark, protecting every version of the actual and the sovereign kind of internal spark. We don't chase the sun because the indigo light is where the integrity is told, trading in the silver of the reflection for a much more ancient kind of gold. The tide is coming in with a heavy-handed message from a high-dimensional source, guiding every movement with the natural and a structural kind of force. It's the indigo room and the lunar kind of logic, finding all the rhythm in the sacred and the chaotic. The ritual is intuition, the aura is a steady glue, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits renew. The room is deep, the moon is wise, reflecting the truth in the center of the eyes. From the indigo room to the logic of the soul, understanding how the phases make the spirit whole. Finding all the rhythm in the sacred and the chaotic. Is intuition, the aura is a steady blue, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits renew. The room was the frequency, but the logic was the truth. The frequency was written in the copper before the vertical world began to scream its name. A structural kind of signal burning through the legacy in the heavy-handed shame. We conduct the energy like a wire running through the center of the earth, honoring the ancient ritual and the logic of a high-dimensional birth. Coils wrap around the spirit like a protective and a metallic kind of skin, filtering the horizontal static and the noise that tries to settle in. It's a resonance that vibrates in the marrow of the bone, reclaiming every territory that the actual person has always known. It's the copper coil and the ancient kind of frequency, moving through the system with the rhythmic kind of decency. The ritual is conduction, the aura is a golden wire, keeping every version of the actual person from the fire. Now every signal is a message, someone just the hum of the universe at rest, putting every horizontal theory to a structural and a final kind of test. The copper is a witness to the evolution of the sovereign kind of thought, trading in the temporary metrics for the wisdom that can never be bought. Ancient waves are moving through the architecture of the binary design, tracing out the geometry of a much more elegant and a holy line. The fuel is magnetic and the focus is a steady kind of inner light, guiding every movement through the middle of a heavy and a urban night. It's the copper coil and the ancient kind of frequency, moving through the system with the rhythmic kind of decency. The ritual is conduction, the aura is a golden wire, keeping every version of the actual person from the fire. The wire is steady, the frequency is deep, waking up the promises that the restless never keep. From the copper coil to the frequency of the soul, understanding how the vibration makes the spirit whole. Stay conductive, stay conductive. It's the copper coil and the ancient kind of frequency, moving through the system with a rhythmic kind of decency. The ritual is conduction, the aura is a steady wire, keeping every version of the actual person from the fire. The coil was the path, but the frequency was the truth. Your DNA is a library of patterns that the modern world forgot how to translate into a steady kind of song, carrying the structural memory of a lineage that has been silent for far too long. The mudcloth on your shoulders is a map of a much more elegant and an ancient design, tracing out the geometry of a long-standing and an evolutionary line. It's not about the fabric, it's the way the logic is woven inside every single thread, honoring the integrity of everything the silent and the ancient spirit said. We store the history inside the very marrow and the center of the bone, reclaiming every territory that the actual person has always known. It's the mudcloth and the piece of cellular memory, building up a kingdom with a rhythmic kind of remedy. The ritual is patterned, the aura is a earthy brown, keeping every version of the spirit from the falling down. Cellular memory is a signal that vibrates in a high dimensional and a steady frequency, avoiding the horizontal noise and the heavy-handed kind of social indecency. You can feel the rhythm in the way the spirit starts to slowly and eventually unfold, trading in the binary metrics for a natural and a structural kind of gold. The pattern is internal and the focus is a steady kind of inner light, guiding every movement through the center of a heavy and the urban night. Integrity is written in the sequence of the holy and the structural blood, rising like a pillar from the ancient and the evolutionary mud. It's the mudcloth and a piece of cellular memory, building up a kingdom with the rhythmic kind of remedy. The ritual is patterned, the aura is a earthy brown, keeping every version of the spirit from the falling down. The cloth is a bridge, The cell is a school teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the mudcloth to the memory of the soul, understanding how the pattern makes the spirit whole. It's the mudcloth and a piece of cellular memory, building up a kingdom with the rhythmic kind of remedy. The ritual is pattern, the aura is a earthy brown, keeping every version of the spirit from the falling down. The clock was the map, but the memory was the truth. The quartz is holding on to secrets that the horizontal light cannot reveal. It's the only structural kind of honesty that the spirit is allowed to feel. Every facet of the prism is a window to a much more ancient sight, breaking down the binary into a spectrum of a holy kind of light. We polish up the clarity until the static starts to finally and completely fade, finding all the sovereignty in the middle of a high-dimensional shade. The logic isn't scattered, it's a focused and a rhythmic kind of beam, navigating through the texture of a very structural and a golden dream. It's the quartz crystal and the internal kind of prism, breaking every barrier of the horizontal schism. The ritual is clarity, the aura is a steady shine, standing in the center of a much more elegant design. An internal prism is a filter for the noise of every heavy-handed day, keeping every version of the actual person in a sovereign kind of way. You don't need a pedestal to see the way the evolutionary color shines, standing in the center of a much more elegant and structural line. The frequency is transparent, but the foundation is a solid and a heavy stone, honoring the territory that the cellular integrity has always known. We vibrate in the silence until the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the logic of a petty fear. It's the quartz crystal and the internal kind of prism, yeah, breaking every barrier of the horizontal schism. The ritual is clarity, the aura is a steady shine, standing in the center of a much more teacher. The light is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the quartz crystal to the prism of the soul, understanding how the refraction makes the spirit whole. It's the quartz crystal and the internal kind of prism, breaking every barrier of the horizontal schism. The ritual is clarity, the aura is a steady shine, standing in the center of a much more elegant design. The crystal was the filter, but the prism was the truth. structural kind of call to the sleepy and the heavy mind, leaving every horizontal distraction and the petty static far behind. It vibrates in the center of the room like an ancient and a golden key, setting every version of the actual and the sovereign person free. We wake up to the frequency that ripples through the architecture of the soul, understanding how the harmonic resonance finally makes the spirit whole. The logic isn't hidden in a binary or a heavy-handed kind of code. It's the steady rhythm of a long-standing and an evolutionary road. It's the brass bell and a harmonic kind of awakening, moving through the system while the horizontal world is shaking. The ritual is sound, the aura is a steady ring, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits sing. An awakening is a posture that you take when the alignment is finally clear, overcoming every structural fragment of a temporary kind of fear. The metal carries a message from a high dimensional and a holy source, guiding every movement with a natural and a structural kind of force. We don't need a witness to the way the evolutionary fire starts to burn, honoring every lesson that the student was designed to eventually learn. The brass is a witness to the integrity that is sitting in the real, vowing the texture of exactly what the actual person is allowed to feel. It's the brass bell and a harmonic kind of awakening, moving through the system while the horizontal world is shaking. The ritual is sound, the aura is a steady ring, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits sing. The bell is a teacher, the sound is a school, teaching the logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the brass bell to the awakening of the soul, understanding how the vibration makes the spirit whole. It's the brass bell and a harmonic kind of awakening, moving through the system while the horizontal world is shaking. The ritual is sound, the aura is a steady ring, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits sing. The bell was the signal, but the awakening was the truth. The desert doesn't apologize for the way it gathers up the dry and the drifting sand, holding on to the structural secrets of an ancient and a sovereign kind of land. A rose can bloom in the middle of a drought if the roots are deep and strong, finding the rhythmic kind of energy that has been silent for far too long. We trade the shallow garden for the territory of the red and the heavy clay, navigating through the mirage of a vertical and a temporary day. The vision isn't scattered, it's so focused in a high-dimensional kind of seed, providing every piece of the integrity that the actual spirits need. It's the desert rose and a rooted kind of vision, healing every fragment of the horizontal division. The ritual is patience, the aura is a steady heat, observing how the ancient and the the urban rhythms meet. Rooted vision is a posture that you take when the alignment is finally incompletely found. Listening to the logic of the ancestors buried deep inside the hollow ground. The heat is a teacher for the ones who know how to protect the inner light, guiding every movement through the middle of a heavy and a desert night. You don't need a river when the moisture is a secret held inside the bone, reclaiming every territory that the actual and the sovereign person has known. Integrity is written in the way the blossom survives the fire and the wind, watching how the structural and the ancient evolutionary cycles begin. It's the desert rose, a rooted kind of vision, healing every fragment of the horizontal division. The ritual is patience, the aura is a steady heat, observing how the ancient and the urban rhythms meet. The sand is a teacher, the drought is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the desert rose to the vision of the soul, understanding how the roots make the spirit whole. It's the desert rose, a rooted kind of vision, healing every fragment of the horizontal division. The ritual is patience, the aura is a steady heat, observing how the ancient and the urban rhythms meet. The sand was the test, but the vision was the truth. The amber light is a structural cage for a history that doesn't want to fade away, preserving all the logic of a much more elegant and an ancient day. We carry the genetic wisdom inside the marrow and the curve of the bone, reclaiming every territory that the actual and the sovereign person has known. It's not a binary lesson that you gather from a screen or a public street. It's the heavy-handed integrity that makes the actual and the structural meet. Time is frozen in the resin like a witness to a holy, in the golden spark, guiding every movement through the middle of the heavy and the urban dark. It's the amber light and a piece of genetic wisdom, building up a sanctuary inside of an ancient system. The ritual is preservation, the aura is a steady glow, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. Spirits grow. Genetic wisdom is a blueprint written in a long-standing kind of grace, mapping out the architecture of a very private and a sacred space. You can feel the frequency vibrating in the sequence of the holy blood, rising like a pillar from the ancient and the evolutionary mud. The amber is a filter for the noise of every temporary and a petty game, protecting the identity and the high-dimensional kind of name. We don't need a witness when the actual history is sitting in the cell, listening to the secrets that the vertical world can never tell. It's the amber light and a piece of genetic wisdom, building up a sanctuary inside of an ancient system. The ritual is preservation. The aura is a steady glow, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. The resin is a teacher, the time is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the ember light to the wisdom of the soul, understanding how the preservation makes the spirit whole. It's the ember light in the piece of genetic wisdom, building up a sanctuary inside of an ancient system. The ritual is preservation. The aura is a steady glow, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. The ember was the vessel, but the wisdom was the truth. A root of iron doesn't bend when the horizontal world begins to shake, keeping every structural promise that the temporary people always break. We find the sovereignty inside the silence of the heavy-handed ground, listening to the frequency where the actual and the ancient truth is found. It isn't built on a foundation made of vanity or public fame, honoring the territory and the high-dimensional kind of name. The metal in the soil is a messenger for our evolutionary light, guiding every movement through the middle of the urban and the heavy night. It's the iron root and the piece of sovereign ground, building up a sanctuary where the spirit can be found. The ritual is stability, the aura is a steady heat, observing how the ancient and the urban rhythms meet. You can't uproot a spirit that is anchored in a structural kind of grace, mapping out the geometry of a very private and a sacred space. The iron is a witness to the integrity that is sitting in the real, valuing the texture of exactly what the actual person is allowed to feel. We stand like pillars while the binary intentions start to slowly fade, finding all the clarity in the middle of a high-dimensional shade. The fuel is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, protecting every fragment of the aura from the logic of a petty fear. It's the iron root and a piece of sovereign ground, and a piece of building up a sanctuary where the spirit can be found. The ritual is stability, the aura is a steady heat, observing how the ancient and the urban rhythms meet. The metal is a teacher, the ground is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the iron root to the sovereignty of the soul, understanding how the foundation makes the spirit whole. Of sovereign ground, hell building up a sanctuary where the spirit can be found. The ritual is stability, the aura is a steady heat, observing how the ancient and the urban rhythms meet. The root was the anchor, but the ground was the truth. There's a structural kind of line that's connecting the spirit to the center of the sun. A high-dimensional race that was finished before it ever actually begun. The silver thread is a messenger for a logic that the horizontal world can't break, keeping every actual promise that the temporary people always fake. We vibrate on a frequency that's traveling through the architecture of the night, following the cosmic tether until the actual person is finally in the light. It isn't a heavy-handed anchor, it's a delicate and a rhythmic kind of pull. Understanding how the empty space is what finally makes the vision full. It's the silver thread in the cosmic kind of tether, keeping all the ancient and the urban parts together. The ritual is connection, the aura is a steady shine, standing in the alignment of a much more elegant design. Elegant design. A cosmic tether is a compass for the ones who know the logic of the stars, healing every structural fragment and the binary kind of vertical scars. You don't need a map when the integrity is pulling on your very soul. Watching how the silver sequence starts to slowly make the spirit whole. The tether is invisible, but the foundation is a solid and a heavy truth, preserving all the dignity and the structural integrity of the youth. We move through the static like a signal that was designed to never fade, finding all the sovereignty in the middle of a high-dimensional shade. It's the silver thread in the cosmic kind of tether, keeping all the ancient and the urban parts together. The ritual is connection, the aura is a steady shine, standing in the alignment of a much more elegant design. The thread is a bridge, the tether is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the silver thread to the tether of the soul, understanding how the connection makes the spirit whole. It's the silver thread in the cosmic kind of tether, keeping all the ancient and the urban parts together. The ritual is connection, the aura is a steady shine, standing in the alignment of a much more elegant design. The thread was the link, but the tether was the truth. Mm-hmm. oak is a teacher with a structural and an ancient kind of strength, measuring the logic of the universe by its own evolutionary length. You can't argue with the tree that's older than the horizontal city street, observing where the ancient and the temporary versions of the spirit meet. Natural law is written in the circles of the heavy and the holy wood, understanding every lesson that the binary world never understood. We build an altar from the branches of a honest and a sovereign kind, leaving all the vanity and the industrial static far behind. It's the oak altar and the peace of natural law, holding on to every structural secret that the spirit saw. The ritual is growth, the aura is a steady green, observing all the logic that the horizontal world hasn't seen. An altar made of oak is a blueprint for an inner and a steady state, balancing the character against the heavy and the vertical weight. The leaves are a filter for the noise of every petty and the temporary game, honoring the territory and the high-dimensional kind of name. Integrity is rooted in the architecture of the actual and the holy seed, providing every fragment of the frequency that the actual spirits need. We don't need a witness to the way the evolutionary roots descend, knowing that the natural and the structural law will never end. It's the oak altar and the peace of natural law, holding on to every structural secret that the spirit saw. The ritual is growth, the aura is a steady green, observing all the logic that the horizontal world hasn't seen. The wood is a teacher, the growth is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the oak altar to the law of the soul, understanding how the roots make the spirit whole. It's the oak altar and the peace of natural law, holding on to every structural secret that the spirit saw. The ritual is growth, the aura is a steady green, observing all the logic that the horizontal world hasn't seen. The altar was the wood, but the law was the truth. The altar was the wood, but the law was the truth. The iris is a window, but the opal is a structural kind of lens, finding all the clarity where the horizontal static usually ends. We look beyond the spectrum of a binary and a heavy-handed sight, observing every version of the actual and the evolutionary light. The geometry of the vision is a blueprint for the spirit's inner eye, catching every frequency that the temporary world can't ever buy. It's a high-dimensional focus in a very private and a sovereign space, honoring the architecture of a much more ancient kind of grace. It's the opal eye in the high-dimensional kind of sight, shifting every color. In the middle of the urban night, the ritual is vision, the aura is a steady glow. Watching how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. Not every piece of information is a message for the public ear. Guarding all the integrity from the logic of a petty kind of fear. The opal eye is shifting with the patterns of a holy and a golden tide. Finding every secret that the horizontal version tried to hide. We don't need a witness to the way the actual reality unfolds. Trading in the silver for the structural and the evolutionary gold. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear. Honoring the legacy of a brand new and a sovereign year. It's the opal eye and the high dimensional kind of sight. Shifting every color in the middle of the urban night. The ritual is vision, the aura is a steady glow. Watching how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. The opal is a teacher, the sight is a school. Teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the opal eye to the vision of the soul. Understanding how the spectrum makes the spirit whole. It's the opal eye and the high dimensional kind of sight. Shifting every color in the middle of the urban night. The ritual is vision, the aura is a steady glow. Watching how the ancient and the urban spirits grow. The eye was the filter, but the sight was the truth. Clay is a structural kind of home for the water of the soul. Shaped by the ancient hands until the vessel is finally whole. It's the integrity of the mud and the fire and the sun. A high-dimensional cycle that has only just begun. We carry the spirit water in a jar made of heavy clay, navigating through the dryness of a temporary day. The fragility is a witness to the strength of the inner flow. Watching how the actual and the urban spirits grow. It's the clay vessel and the spirit kind of water, feeding every son and every evolutionary daughter. The ritual is pouring, the aura is a steady stream, living in the center of a very structural dream. Water doesn't have a shape until it finds the hollow space, conforming to the architecture of a much more ancient grace. You can't contain the frequency in a vertical type of mode, trading in the shallow liquid for structural kind of gold. The thirst is internal and the signal is becoming clear, washing away the fragments of a petty kind of fear. We drink from the sanctuary where the integrity is found, listening to the rhythm of the holy and the urban sound. It's the The water is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the clay vessel to the water of the soul, understanding how the fluid makes the spirit whole. It's the clay vessel and the spirit kind of water, feeding every son and every evolutionary daughter. The ritual is pouring, the aura is a steady stream, living in the center of a very structural dream. The vessel was the earth, but the water was the truth. The shell horn is a structural kind of call to the logic of the ancient deep, waking up the secrets that the horizontal world tried to let the spirits keep. You can hear the ocean breathing in the center of a spiral made of bone, reclaiming every frequency that the actual person has always known. It's a rhythmic kind of energy that travels through the salt and the heavy sand, mapping out the architecture of a very private and a sovereign land. We don't need a witness when the integrity is moving with the rising tide, honoring the territory where the honest version of the spirit likes to hide. It's the shell horn and a piece of ocean breath, healing every version of a binary kind of death. The ritual is breathing, the aura is a steady blue, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits renew. Ocean breath is a blueprint for the way the actual and the structural spirits move, finding all the clarity inside the ancient and the evolutionary groove. The tide doesn't ask for permission to wash away the traces of a petty game, protecting the identity in a high-dimensional kind of name. Integrity is written in the sequence of the holy and the structural water, feeding every son and every evolutionary daughter. The focus is internal and the signal is becoming sharp and clear, guiding every movement through the middle of a heavy and a urban year. It's the shell horn and a piece of ocean breath, healing every version of a binary kind of death. The ritual is breathing, the aura is a steady blue, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits renew. The shell is a teacher, the breath is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the shell horn to the ocean of the soul, understanding how the breathing makes the spirit whole. It's the shell horn and a piece of ocean breath, healing every version of a binary kind of death. The ritual is breathing, the aura is a steady blue, observing how the ancient and the urban spirits renew. The shell was the vessel, but the breath was the truth. The smoke of the sage is a structural kind of brush that is clearing the air, removing the horizontal static and the weight of every petty and a temporary care. It's an astral kind of logic that is burning through the middle of the heavy night, finding all the clarity inside the center of a much more ancient light. We trade the artificial for the frequency of a very holy and a golden glow, watching how the actual and the evolutionary spirits finally start to grow, cleansing every fragment of the architecture until the signal is sharp and clear, protecting every version of the aura from the structural logic of a petty fear. It's the burn sage and the astral kind of clearance, making every high dimensional truth a steady appearance. The ritual is cleansing, the aura is a steady white, standing in the alignment of a much more elegant light. Astral clearance is a posture that you take when the alignment is finally won, observing how the internal and the structural evolution has finally begun. The smoke is a messenger for a logic that doesn't need a vertical kind of praise, walking through the sanctuary in a million different and a sovereign ways. We sit in the vacuum and we listen to the geometry of a brand new thought, finding all the sovereignty that a horizontal currency has never actually bought. Integrity is rising like a pillar from the ashes of the heavy and the burnt leaves, unraveling the webs that the temporary and the restless spirit always weaves. This the burnt sage and an astral kind of clearance, making every high dimensional truth a steady appearance. The ritual is cleansing, the aura is a steady white, standing in the alignment of a much more elegant light. The sage is a teacher, the smoke is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the burnt sage to the clearance of the soul, understanding how the vacuum makes the spirit whole. It's the burnt sage and the astral kind of clearance, making every high dimensional truth a steady appearance. The ritual is cleansing, the aura is a steady white, standing in the alignment of a much more elegant light. The smoke was the brush, but the clearance was the truth. The new moon is a structural kind of secret that is hidden in the black, reminding us that every single ending is a way of coming back. It's the logic of the zero and the beauty of the infinite start, mapping out the architecture of a very sovereign heart. We don't need a sliver of the light to see the version that is true, honoring the integrity of exactly what the spirit has to do. Origin is a frequency that vibrates in a very ancient key, setting every fragment of the high-dimensional person free. It's the new moon, the piece of infinite origin. Watching where the actual and the ancient parts begin. The ritual is silence, the aura is a steady void, protecting every version that the world has not destroyed. The origin is a sanctuary where the static cannot reach or climb, transcending all the horizontal metrics and the heavy hand of time. We sit inside the darkness and we listen to the wisdom of the void, protecting every version that the binary world is not destroyed. It's a rhythmic kind of energy that's fueling the evolutionary flame, honoring the territory and the high dimensional kind of name. The moon is a witness to the integrity that's sitting in the dark, guarding every fragment of the actual and the sovereign kind of spark. It's the new moon and a piece of infinite origin, watching where the actual and the ancient parts begin. The ritual is silence, the aura is a steady void, protecting every version that the world has not destroyed. The void is a teacher, the beginning is a school, teaching a logic that doesn't belong to the fool. From the new moon to the origin of the soul, understanding how the nothing makes the spirit whole. It's the new moon and a piece of infinite origin, watching where the actual and the ancient parts begin. The ritual is silence, the aura is a steady void, protecting every version that the world has not destroyed.